Most people think they're saving money on Amazon, but here's the uncomfortable truth. Every single day, millions of shoppers quietly overpay, not because they're careless, not because they're bad with money, but because they don't see what's happening behind the screen. Amazon isn't just a store, it's a system that rewards speed, habits, and inattention. And if you don't know how it works, you're paying for that ignorance every time you click Buy Now. That stops today. In this video, I'm breaking down 12 Amazon shopping secrets you're already paying for by ignoring. Not rumors, not gimmicks, real behaviors that change what you pay, sometimes instantly. And stay with me, because the final one completely flips how most people think about waiting for a deal. 12. Shop logged out. When you're comparing prices, think about how often this happens without you noticing. You are not shopping more. You are not clicking faster. You are just being watched quietly, and that attention has a cost. Most people feel pressure without understanding why. You hesitate for a moment. You leave the page. You come back later feeling rushed. That urgency is not random. Amazon rewards patterns, not patience. The more interest you show, the more predictable you become. And ISO is expensive. That is how silent overpaying starts. Now here is the shift most shoppers never make. You step outside the system for a moment. No account history, no behavior trail, just a clean comparison. This single habit changes how you shop. You stop reacting emotionally. You slow the process down. You choose timing instead of panic. And timing controls price more than people realize. If something this simple can protect your money, what do you think happens next? Because this list does not get easier. It gets smarter, and the real secrets are just beginning. 11. Check Amazon's less obvious product sections. First, most shoppers never go beyond the main listings. They search, scroll, and assume that is everything. But Amazon is built in layers. What you see first is not what costs less, it is what sells fastest. These hidden sections exist for a reason. Returns that were barely touched, extra inventory that needs to move quietly, boxes with small cosmetic issues, problems that matter less than price. What makes this powerful is how normal the items are. Nothing looks risky. Nothing feels second-rate. Most come with the same protections. But far fewer people compete for them. Ask yourself something honest. How many times have you paid full price simply because you did not know another section existed? Not because the deal was bad, but because the better option was hidden. Once you train yourself to check these areas first, your buying order changes. Search becomes the second step. Comparison becomes automatic, and full price stops feeling necessary. If this alone reshapes how you shop, imagine what happens as we go deeper. Because the next secret is not about where you look, it is about how fast you move. And speed quietly decides who saves and who overpays. 10. Let delivery speed work for you, not against you. Fast shipping feels harmless at first. You click it without thinking. 2 days sounds better than 5, but convenience quietly trains behavior, and behavior always has a price. Most people assume slower shipping means losing something. In reality, it often gives something back. Credits that replace spending later. Entertainment you would have paid for anyway. Value hiding in plain sight. Ask yourself this honestly. Did you actually need that item tomorrow? Or did speed just feel comforting? Because comfort often costs more than patience. And Amazon knows that. When you pause at checkout, power shifts. You stop being rushed. You start choosing intentionally. Speed becomes optional, not automatic. That single pause changes outcomes. This is not about waiting longer. It is about paying less for the same result. Your item still arrives. Your wallet keeps more. And nothing feels sacrificed. If slowing down already saves this much, what do you think happens next? Because the next secret is not about timing. It is about commitment and how easily money leaks there. 9. Use subscriptions without committing to them. Subscriptions are designed to feel permanent. They promise convenience. They promise savings. But what they really want is habit. And habits are expensive when ignored. Most shoppers think subscribing means obligation. They assume once they start, they are locked in. That belief alone costs people money, because flexibility is built into the system. Few ever use it. Here is the quiet advantage. You activate the discount when it makes sense. You receive exactly what you need. Then you reassess without pressure. No penalties, no friction. Ask yourself this. How many times have you skipped a discount because commitment felt uncomfortable? Not because you did not need the item, but because you feared being stuck. When you treat subscriptions as temporary tools, your mindset changes. You stop avoiding savings. You stop overbuying later. And control returns to you. If one feature can quietly protect your budget, what do you think the next secret does? Because now we move past habits into awareness, and awareness changes everything. 8. Don't trust discounts. Trust. Price behavior. Big numbers grab attention instantly. 30% off feels powerful. 50% off feels urgent. But numbers alone do not equal value. They only create emotion. Most shoppers react to color, not context. Red tags trigger action. Timers create pressure. But pressure hides history, and history tells the real story. Prices move long before sales appear. They rise quietly. They fall briefly. They repeat patterns most people never see. That is where truth lives. Ask yourself this honestly. Have you ever felt proud of a deal only to realize later it was cheaper before? Not because you missed it, but because you never checked. When you start watching behavior instead of labels, your buying slows down. Your confidence increases, your regret disappears, and decisions feel controlled. This is where emotional spending breaks. You stop chasing deals. You start waiting for confirmation, and once that habit forms, coupons become a bonus, not a crutch. 7. Prepare for limited time deals before they appear. Most people think lightning deals are random. They believe you either get lucky or you do not. But that belief is expensive, because luck is not what wins here. Preparation is. Lightning deals move fast on purpose. They reward people who are ready, not people who are browsing casually. By the time most shoppers notice, the best deals are already gone. Ask yourself this. How many times have you seen a deal sold out and felt like you were just seconds too late? That feeling is not bad timing. It is lack of preparation. When alerts are set in advance, everything changes. You stop refreshing pages. You stop chasing notifications. The deal comes to you, and that shift removes stress. Preparation turns urgency into advantage. You act calmly while others panic. You decide instead of reacting. And that is where real savings live. Quiet, fast, and intentional. If being ready already gives you this edge, wait until you see what comes next. Because the next secret is not on Amazon at all. It is outside the platform, and most shoppers never look there. Quick pause. If these tips are already changing how you think about Amazon, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who shops online more than they should. This is Frugal Steals, and smarter spending is kind of our thing. Now, let's get into the strategies most people never even consider. 6. Look beyond Amazon before you check out. Most shoppers stop at the product page. They see a price and accept it. They assume the deal ends there, but that assumption is costly. Because savings often live elsewhere. Amazon shows you what it wants you to see, not always what helps you most. Other sites quietly offer better angles, extra discounts, hidden opportunities. Ask yourself this. How many times have you clicked buy without checking anywhere else? Not because you were sure, but because it felt convenient. That one extra minute matters more than you think. It creates comparison. It creates leverage, and leverage lowers price. Every time. Smart shoppers widen the frame. They do not rush the final click. They confirm before committing. And confirmation protects your money. That habit alone pays for itself. If stepping outside already changes the outcome, imagine what happens next. Because the next secret requires almost no effort. Yet most people ignore it completely, and that is where money slips away quietly. 5. Let interest work quietly in the background. Most people think saving money requires action. Searching harder, clicking faster, constant checking. But sometimes the smartest move is passive. Amazon reacts to interest signals constantly. Views, lists, revisits. Small actions that seem meaningless. When items show signs of attention, systems adjust. Not loudly, not instantly, but subtly over time. And subtle changes matter. Ask yourself this: how often do you rush to buy because you fear losing a price, instead of letting interest build quietly and watching what happens next? Organizing what you want changes the dynamic. You are no longer chasing. You are observing. You are waiting with purpose, and patience starts working for you. This is why passive strategies feel so powerful. No pressure, no constant checking, just quiet leverage. And leverage always favors the prepared. 4. Save before you ever add items to your cart. Most people think saving happens at checkout. They look for coupons, they wait for sales, they hope for a lower price. But the smartest savings happen earlier. Discounted balances change the starting line. You are not negotiating later. You are winning before you begin. Every dollar already stretches further, and that feeling matters. There is power in entering checkout ahead. No pressure, no rushing, no second guessing, just quiet confidence. Ask yourself this: how often do you focus on the final price instead of how you pay? Because payment method decides outcome. More than most people realize. Small advantages compound over time. One purchase feels minor, a month feels noticeable, a year feels significant, and none of it required extra effort. This is how smart shoppers think. They prepare before buying, they reduce friction early, they protect value automatically, and money stops leaking unnoticed. 3. Change how deals are sorted, not just where you look. Most shoppers scroll without a plan. They assume the first deals shown are the best. They trust what appears on top. But visibility does not mean value. It means popularity. Amazon sorts deals to sell faster, not cheaper. Trending items rise first. High demand gets rewarded. Real discounts get buried, and most people never notice. Filtering flips the entire experience. Suddenly, the biggest savings appear first. Not the loudest items, not the most clicked ones, but the most reduced. Ask yourself this honestly: how many times have you missed a better deal because you stopped scrolling too soon? Not because it was gone, but because it was hidden. When you control how results appear, you control what you see. You stop following the crowd. You start spotting patterns, and deals stop feeling rare. This single adjustment changes behavior fast. Browsing becomes strategic. Decisions feel intentional. Confidence replaces guesswork. And overpaying loses its grip. 2. Use Amazon's own guidance to cut through noise. Most shoppers think more options mean better choices. They scroll longer. They compare endlessly. They feel overwhelmed. And confusion leads to bad decisions. Amazon already tracks what matters to you: past searches, saved items, viewed products, signals you leave every day. When guidance is used correctly, it narrows focus. Not to push spending, but to reduce noise. Fewer options appear, better ones rise. Ask yourself this: how many times have you overbought simply because too many choices felt stressful? Not because you needed more, but because clarity was missing. When the noise fades, confidence grows. Decisions feel easier. Time spent drops. Regret disappears. And spending becomes intentional. This is not about trusting blindly. It is about using structure wisely. Let the system filter chaos, so you keep control. And save without effort. 1. Let price drops find you. Most shoppers chase deals like a job. They refresh pages daily. They check prices again and again. They waste time and mental energy, and still miss the best moment. The smartest shift is stepping back. You stop hunting. You stop guessing. You let the system watch for you, and that changes everything. When price drops come to you, pressure disappears. There is no rush, no fear of missing out, no emotional decision-making. Just clear timing. Ask yourself this: how much time have you spent checking prices that never changed in your favor? Not because deals were gone, but because you were chasing instead of waiting. Patience becomes profitable here. You buy when conditions are right, not when anxiety is high, not when urgency is forced, but when value is real. This is the final shift most people never make. You stop reacting. You start planning. You keep control of your money, and that is how smart shoppers win. Saving money was never about buying less. It was always about buying with intention. And now you know the secrets most people ignore. The question is simple: will you keep paying for them or use them? Disclaimer: this content is not intended to criticize or discredit Amazon. Amazon is a global marketplace that serves millions of customers worldwide and offers convenience and value to many households. Our goal is purely educational. We aim to help everyday shoppers understand common buying habits, recognize how online shopping systems work, and make more informed decisions in their daily spending. All tips shared are based on publicly available features, standard shopping practices, and personal experience. We encourage viewers to always do their own research and choose what works best for their needs. Saving money is not about avoiding stores. It's about shopping smarter. Which of these surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, and if you've discovered your own Amazon trick, share it. And if you think this video was eye-opening, the next one will completely change how you shop for groceries. Until then, stay sharp, stay intentional, and keep stealing smart. This is Frugal Steals.